Do birds have to practice to fly? No, they just wing it. I'm kidding, but have you ever noticed that some birds can fly without even flapping their wings? We're gonna find out why. I'm Jane Lindholm, and this is But Why from Vermont Public, where we explore the science behind what's happening on your local landscape each month. I'm at VINS, a nature center in Quechee, Vermont, and today we're going to learn about the science of soaring. Let's go explore. I've made my way to the raptor enclosures here at VINS. Raptors are medium to big-sized birds that eat other animals. Some raptors include owls, hawks, falcons, and eagles. Let's go talk with one of the educators who works here at VINS about how some of these animals soar. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Jane.
And hello to whoever this is. Who is this?
This is Northfield. Northfield is a broad-winged hawk.
Oh, broad-winged hawk. Sounds like maybe he has broad wings?
You would be right about that. He has big, wide, flat wings that help him to soar.
Oh, soaring. So he is one of the raptors that soars.
Absolutely.
Okay, and how does a bird like Northfield soar?
Well, he's going to use those wings to catch a lot of wind up underneath him. These birds are looking for particular kinds of air, like thermals, or rising columns of hot air that come off the land during the day, or mountain updrafts that come from the wind blowing over mountain ranges like the Appalachians. So he's looking for those particular kind of highways of wind to carry him up into the sky and then southward on his winter migration.
Why not just flap your way there?
Well, that takes a lot of energy. That really, if you stand there and flap your arms for a really long time, you're gonna get tired, and so would these birds. So it helps them to save energy, to not need to eat as much food while they're traveling.
And it's amazing, the shape of their wings and the shapes of their bodies are what help them to have this very efficient form of flying so that they can do that migration
Absolutely.
that takes so much time and energy. Now, Northfield himself cannot soar. Why not?
That is true. He actually, as a baby, fell out of his nest, and the person that found him brought him to our wildlife clinic where we were able to see that he had broken his shoulder. And unfortunately, that injury didn't heal properly, so he really can't fly at all. He can barely fly like 20 or 25 feet, let alone 3,000 miles to South America. So he now is an education ambassador and helps us to teach about soaring birds.
Well, since he can't fly, we're not gonna ask him to do it, but you do have another bird who you could have fly for us so we could at least see how the shapes of those wings help birds soar.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, let's go do it.
Cool.
Thanks, Northfield. Wasn't it cool to see Paige, the bird, flying? It made me want to be able to fly like that. And I really wish I could soar. Now, Anna was telling us earlier about how birds' wings are developed to help them be able to fly like that. But it's also really important what kind of wind is out there, what kind of air currents are moving through the landscape that the birds can take advantage of. So let's talk about two of them. One is thermal soaring. Raptors fly on thermals, and that's when warm air, which is down towards the bottom near the land that has been heated by the sun, rises. Because as you've probably heard, warm air rises, and that helps lift the birds up so they can get higher into the air. Birds like the hawk that we just saw also rely sometimes on updrafts. Now, updrafts occur when the air and wind is moving along a landscape and then hits an obstruction, like a cliff or a hill. The air has to turn upwards to get through and over that obstruction. And the birds can take advantage of that air rising too. It's really neat how these birds have adapted to be able to use the landscape to their advantage to have the most efficient way of flying. I hope you've learned something cool today. I certainly have. Thanks to Anna Morris and everyone here at VINS for teaching us a little bit more about the science of soaring.